This is my Melbourne CBD cucumber ramen review. I'm not a foodie, I literally eat anything until you get to Japanese food and all of a sudden I'm a critic, especially when it comes to ramen after eating all these amazing ramens when I was on exchange in Japan. So let's get into it. I arrived there around 5 p.m. on a Friday and waited maybe 45 minutes, and because I was here alone, Japanese style, I got to skip a bit of the line and just sit at this one-person seat in the front. Before digging in, I had a quick sniff of the noodles and it had that classic slight eggy smell, which was good, which actually doesn't come from eggs, but it comes from the kansui that's inside the noodles, which is this alkaline powder that keeps it not soggy. Anyways, when I bit into it, it had that nice chewy and bouncy consistency, and I was quite delightfully surprised. 8.8 out of 10. The next part is the broth. I got the highest level of spice because I thought, of course, they would tone it down for Melbourne, and sure enough, I think they did. It was still spicy enough for me, but I think it would be around like a medium level of what I had in Japan back in the day. The broth did taste quite nice, but if I'm being completely honest, it's been a while since I had cucumber in Japan, and I think it tasted similar. I don't think it's completely the same, but I think it's close enough, so I would give that a 8 out of 10. And last but not least, I think the review of the meat that y'all are waiting for and what cucumber is super famous for in Japan. I was quite skeptical of this, to be honest, before digging in, because I was like, it looks tiny, it looks like there's not enough fat, so I hesitantly chewed into it, and I was delightfully surprised, if I'm being honest, because even though it's quite tiny, I think it was quite fatty. At least the one I had was quite fatty. I think one major downside of the ramens in Melbourne is that the chashu just isn't fat, but this one actually was, so I was quite happy about it. Of course, like, it's tiny, and to get another piece of that was like $5 or something, which is like quite expensive, but to be expected of Melbourne. And again, to be honest, I don't really remember what exactly the meat tasted like in Japan, but I think it was quite decent in my opinion, so I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. That brings us to a total of 8.43 out of 10. Like, again, I'll be honest, I didn't have high hopes for it because of all the ramen places that taste not amazing outside of Japan, so I literally told my friend this, but I still thought it was gonna be worth trying. I'm glad I did, because I think it's the best ramen I've had in Melbourne, if I'm being honest. It was just a bit pricey, especially with the extra noodles. I think it was $27, which I guess isn't the worst to pay for a decent ramen in Melbourne, but I'm just a bit of a broke-ass student right now, so my wallet didn't like that very much. But yeah, thanks for tuning to my food review. Bye-bye.